Okay, this is section 11.5 and 2.3, which covers analyzing data. The objective for this section here is we're going to find the measures of central tendency, which is just the mean, median, and mode. Again, this is something that you've seen before in the past, so we're going to kind of go through this quick and discuss this and show you how to do this stuff. So the measures of central tendency, all right, it is a value that represents a typical or central entry of a data set. Okay, that's what the actual definition of a measure of central tendency is. There's three common measures of central tendency. We've got the mean, the median, and the mode, and we're going to go through and talk about exactly what each one of those means. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at here is the mean. Okay, the mean is the sum of all the data entries divided by the number of entries. So again, the mean is the exact same thing as average. Okay, so if I take and add up the data sets that we have, divide it by the number of data sets we have, that gives you the mean. Again, this is not anything that's real complicated or that, in this case, is anything that's new. I'll go through an example here. It says the prices in dollars for a sample of round-trip flights from Chicago, Illinois to Cancun, Mexico are listed. What is the mean price of the flights? So, as I look at this here, if I add up all these values together, okay, so if I add them all up, my sum of those 7 values, if I add those 7 values up, I get a total of 3,695, and there are 7 total values there. So I'm going to take that 3,695, divide it by 7, and that's going to give me 527.86, and I rounded that a little bit here to the nearest hundredth because we're dealing with prices, so we're dealing with hundredths. So this right here is my mean or my average. The average price in this case of a flight from Chicago to Cancun is $527.86. Okay, so that covers the mean. The second measure of central tendency is the median. Now, the median is the value that lies in the middle of the data when the data set is ordered, and the key here is ordered. So one of the first steps you're going to look at here is you must put the data set in numerical order first. Okay, you have to put them in the numerical order from smallest to largest. The measures of the median measures the center of an ordered data set by dividing it into 2 equal parts. 2 things, if the data set has an odd number of entries, it's pretty easy. The median is the number that's in the middle. So you'll start from the outside, work in, get to where you get to the middle number. If there's an even number of entries, the median is the mean of the 2 middle entries. So you'll end up having 2 middle entries, and you'll have to find the average of the 2 middle entries. Okay, so again, as we look at this example here, we've got the exact same answer, or exact same example. The prices in dollars for a sample round trip, again, are listed from Chicago to Cancun. What's the median price of the flights? Well, the first thing I need to do now is write these numbers in order, from smallest to largest. So I've got 388, then I go 397 twice, and then I've got 427, and then 432, and then 782, and 872. Okay? And now in order to find the median, again, I'm going to work myself outside in, and I'm going to find the middle. So I'm going to start with the 2 outside numbers, then work here to the inside numbers, then work here, and you'll notice when I end up as my median being the number that's in the middle. I've got 3 right and 3 left, so my median is $427. So the median price is $427 for a flight. Okay? Now, I give you another example down here because I've taken a number out. It says the flight priced at $432 is no longer available. So what is the median price of the remaining flights? So again, I'm going to start outside here, work myself in, and I notice now that I have 2 values. Okay? So I'm going to take these two values that are in the middle. The only problem is what haven't I done first? I haven't ordered them. So you got to be careful when you're doing median because the numbers have to be in order. If I do it right away, I'm going to screw it up. Okay, so the first thing I got to do is, again, write these numbers in order. So 388, 397, 397. I've got a 427, a 782, and an 872. Okay. Now again, once I have them ordered, I can now work outside in and be able to find that my median is going to be in the middle of these two numbers. So I have to find the average of 397 and 427. So 397 and 427 is 824. To find the average, I got to divide that by the number of numbers. I got 2 there. And if I do that, divide that by 2, this is 412, which is now the median. Okay, so that's an example if you have an even number of numbers. When you take the two numbers that are in the middle, these two numbers here are in the middle, I've got to average these two numbers out. Okay, so that covers the median. The last measure of central tendency is the mode. Okay, the mode's probably the easiest of the three to figure out. As we look at this, the mode is the data entry that occurs with the greatest frequency. If no data entry is repeated, then it has no mode. If two entries occur with the same greatest frequency, then each entry is a mode. So it can have multiple modes. Okay, a key word here is frequency, and the definition of frequency is how often something happens or occurs. So you're going to get some different charts here. You're going to get a frequency chart, and what that tells you is how often something happened. Okay, how many times something happened. So you're going to have to be able to decipher what the mode is from a frequency chart as well. Okay, I've given you the same exact example here, and as you look at your list, we want to find what's the mode price. So what price happens the most often? Well, as you look at your list, you can see that we have 397 twice. No other number is written down twice, so the mode is 397 because it happened more than once. Okay, so the mode's the number that shows up the most frequent times. Last example here. At the political debate, a sample of audience members was asked to name a political party to which they belong. Their responses are shown below in the table. What is the mode of the responses? Okay, so as you look at your table here, again, the key here is that this is a frequency chart. So there were 34 times a Democrat was chosen, 56 times a Republican was chosen, 21 times other was chosen, and 9 times that somebody didn't respond. So we need to figure out what's the one that occurred the most times. Well, as you look at your chart, 56 occurred the most. So that is the mode. That's the most frequent party. So the mode here is Republican. The Republican Party is what occurred the most. Okay? So we've talked about mean, median, and mode, the three measures of central tendency, and how to find them in this section, section 11.5 and 2.3.